For about 10 years now, we've been using this old Panasonic TV, and it's pretty much time for an upgrade. This is the new 2020 LG Nanocell 80, and if you can't tell already, we're going to do a review on it. So strap in, get comfy, and enjoy the ride. In the box, it comes with the TV, duh, 2 legs, some quick start guides and manuals, and the magic remote itself. But we'll talk more about that later. When you first turn the TV on, it will ask you to fill in a couple of details, and then it will start scanning for a Wi-Fi connection. Once you've done that, it will tune for a signal, and then you're good to go. Now, the WebOS that LG has made is great. I absolutely love it. It's just a little panel that pops up so you can browse the web, you can watch YouTube, you can watch Twitch, you can watch Disney. It's just such a good addition to the TV. Now, before we get any further in this review, let's talk about what Nanocell is. Now, standard LCD TVs are backlit from the bottom, where OLEDs aren't backlit. They just have the individual pixels that can turn off and on. Where LG's Nanocell TVs, they're not coming from the bottom or the top or the sides. They're coming from everywhere, so they're coming from the back and they're coming from all the edges. And with LG's AI ThinQ processor inside, it can scan what part of the image it needs to enhance to make it a better viewing experience. So this TV has many different modes, from standard, where it does nothing, auto power savings mode, cinema mode, which darkens the screen, best for watching movies at night, and cricket mode, which is only designed for sports and sports only. I wouldn't recommend watching a movie on this setting, for it makes the pixels quite visible. There's also a game mode, which I'm most excited for, because this TV has 120Hz refresh rate. Yeah, so make sure to subscribe, because we've got a video coming out where we're going to be gaming on this TV. So make sure you stay subscribed. It has an HDR effect, which yes, it does mean this TV has HDR, and it also has a filmmaker mode, which makes it as precise as it can be. There is an expert bright room, an expert dark room, and there's also a vivid, which is bright but still quite sharp. Now let's talk about the magic remote. After having it for about a week, I absolutely love it. From going to an old square remote to actually one that fits your hand, it just feels so good. At the top, it has the power button and a source button. Underneath that, we have the number pad. Then it has the volume control, the channel selector, the mute button, and we also have a microphone button so we can talk to the built-in voice assistant on the TV, or Alexa or Google Assistant. Around the middle of the remote, we have the home button on the top left, which brings up the UI. We have the settings button to change the viewing modes, as well as different sound modes on the top right. On the bottom left, we have a back button, and on the right, we have the TV guide. And then in the middle, we have the OK button and the up, down, left and right. Now, the only complaint that I have about this part of the remote is the OK / the scroll wheel. They've put a scroll wheel in the middle of the OK button, which at the start took me a while to get used to, but once you get used to it, it's completely fine. It's all good. And then to finish it off, at the very bottom, we have a Netflix and Prime Video button. So these can be very handy if you have either one of those two platforms. In the middle of those two, we have the home dashboard button, which brings up the home dashboard of all your connections and stuff, and Wi-Fi connections and everything you need to know there. Then underneath that, we have these 4 colored codable buttons, which you can set up to open YouTube or Plex or anything for that matter. And then we have a movies button and a play and a pause button. Now, image quality on this thing, well, when we first fired up some 4K HDR footage, it absolutely blew us away. The image quality was just so crisp and precise, it just makes it a great thing to watch movies on this. If anyone is curious, we have the 49-inch model and the measurements for that are 109mm wide, about 70mm tall with legs, and 63mm tall without legs, about 6 meters thick, and if you wanted to have it wall mounted, it does come with a standard VESA mount. Oh, on the ports on the TV, we have 4 HDMI ports, 2 of them having eARC, which is great. Oh, and they all are 2.1. It also has 2 USB ports, but for some reason they're both USB 2. I mean, we're in 2020, so surely they could have just upgraded them with USB 3, but you're not going to be transferring massive files onto a TV. So, in their defense, it's not really needed, but it was nice to have, if it did. An optical audio out, an RJ45 jack if you wanted to connect it via Ethernet, although it does come with Wi-Fi, some AV ports, a satellite in and a cable in, and on the bottom of the TV we have a little button to control the functions of the TV if somehow you lost your remote. When you press it down, it brings up the menu. You can choose to power on or power off the TV. You can also select a different source, and then you can raise the volume or lower the volume, and then you can also change the channels. Now, an overall view. LG has set the standard on this TV. It's amazing picture quality, just blew me away when I first looked at it, and it still does. When you're watching a movie, you get immersed into it, and you don't even realize. Now the backlit, like we were talking about before, it is definitely visible, but only if you're specifically looking for it. So, unless you're specifically looking for it, it shouldn't bother you. In my opinion, this is a great TV. It's got 4K, HDR10 Pro, and it even has a 120Hz refresh rate. And for all the price of around 1,500 New Zealand dollars, this is a great TV for the price. So thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, you know what to do. Make sure to subscribe. If you want to watch some more of our delightful videos, you can head on down to this one where you can meet this handsome young fella and he will tell you how many 3080s there are on that screen. And yeah, check out our other videos. Another one should be down there somewhere, wherever it is. Yeah, get subscribed. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.